What's going on, everybody? Zach with Cardstock Exchange here, coming at you with another YouTube video. So today we're gonna do like our mock draft, probably mock draft 100. I don't even know which number we're on, but this is week 8 or 9 going into the football season. So we're gonna do another mock draft based on the updated draft rankings, as you can see on the left. So those are the teams in the orders, and based on kind of how players have been doing. So to preface, this is how I would draft if I was the GM of each team. So this is not what I think they're gonna do, because Lord knows what they're going to do. But this is what I would do if I was the GM. And we're not doing trades. This doesn't include trades. So this is just straight up, what would I do if I was in each position? Who would I draft? So for the last couple of weeks, we've had Chicago having both a number 1 and 2 overall pick. Now it's the Cardinals at number 2. Look, my personal opinion, I don't think Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in this draft. I think the last 2 weeks have kind of shown that even in an air raid offense and having a ton of offensive weapons, he can't beat the good teams, and he looks pretty bad. It's not like he's putting up stats. So I still think he's going to go number 1. That's probably what I would do, even though I don't think he's probably the best quarterback in the draft. But I think he has a higher ceiling than Drake May, so I think he's going to go 1. The Cardinals at 2, look, trade Kyler Murray, get a couple picks, draft Drake May, let that be the end of it. And then Chicago at 3, I would probably trade this pick, but we're not doing trades, so I'd probably just draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Let me preface that. The only way I'd trade that pick is if it's the Drake May pick. If I already had Caleb and Drake May still on the board, I'm trading that pick all day because a team will jump up and trade a lot for it. Next is the Broncos. You missed out on the top 2 quarterbacks. I would keep Russ in this situation because I don't think Michael Penix, right, is better than Russ in this situation. I could make an argument that I'd do it for the future. However, I would probably solidify my offensive line a bit more and just go get the best O-lineman on the board. And then if you really want to draft a quarterback next year or later in the draft, it's a pretty deep quarterback draft. Next is the Giants. I don't need a quarterback from the Giants. I need offensive weapons. Look, do I think Daniel Jones is the future? No, but I wouldn't draft Michael Penix here, just my personal opinion. Next is the Patriots. Now this one is where it gets interesting. If I'm the Patriots, I need a receiver bad. Mac Jones doesn't look awful, but he doesn't look great, right? Could I talk myself into Michael Penix here? Yes. However, I don't. Yeah, I mean, now that Marvin Harrison's off the board, I don't think any of these guys are worth a top 6 pick. I'd probably go O-line and just keep it moving. I mean, the Patriots, it's a tough one, right? It's a tough one. I think Michael Penix is good. I just don't think he's number 6 overall good. That's kind of where I'm at with that one. And just the fit, right? It's also the fit. I don't think Penix would be a good fit there. They're not. He needs like an air raid offense, and that's not the Patriots. Next is Green Bay. Green Bay always goes defense. I think they're going to go get a good edge rusher in Latu. Next is the Vikings. Now this is where it gets a little bit interesting. Their defense is a bit bad. Their offense could use some help. I'd probably go get a cornerback in Kool-Aid McKinstry. He's one of the better corners in the draft. You could talk yourself into just about any of these corners. Cooper DeJean's pretty good, but I'd probably go with Kool-Aid. Next is the Chargers. Chargers need O-line help all day, every day. So I'm going to go get the second best O-lineman in the draft. Talise Fuga's pretty good, but so is J.C. Latham. I don't know. I'm probably going to go J.C. Latham. I know what the AP ranking is here, but I think he's probably going to end up being the second tackle taken. Next is the Titans. Titans need a receiver bad. I think Keon Coleman has been a stud this year, and I think he's worked his way into the top 10. Traylon Burks is not that good, and D-Hop is old. So, yeah, that's what I would do. Next is the Saints. Saints are going to go defense. They're going to get an edge rusher. They don't really have a solidified edge rusher, so that's what I would get. Next is the Raiders. Raiders need a lot of help on a lot of different places. You could argue that Devontae Adams is going to leave, so they could go receiver. However, they claim they're not going to trade him. I think they're going to get a cornerback. Their secondary is not that great. Their front 7 is all right. That's heavily reliant on Max Crosby, though, but I think their back end needs a lot of help. Next is the Colts. I say you just go get AR weapons as much as you can. You have Josh Downs. You have Michael Pittman Jr. Go get Malik Neighbors. Make Anthony Richardson have to throw the ball, right? Like, if you don't give him weapons, he's just going to run it and keep getting hurt. Next is Washington. Washington is a defensive-minded team, so I think they're going to go defense here. That's what I would do. I would probably go get Dallas Turner. He's a good he's a good rusher. You can never go wrong with that. Pair him alongside Chase Young, who's always hurt, but maybe will be healthy one year. So do that. Next is LA. LA is in need of O-line help. So we're just going to get the best alignment available and stick with that. Now this is Houston's pick. Wow, I didn't realize Houston's we've done that good. I'm a Texans fan, by the way, so good for us for being that back in the draft. If I'm the Cardinals, so we got Drake May. We don't really have a number one receiver, so I'd probably go get Rome Odunze, however you say his name. I don't know if he's a top 15 talent, but you do what you can where you're drafting. Next is the Jets. The Jets. Need an O-line. Go get O-line. Be done with it, especially with Aaron Rodgers coming back and your O-line aging. Next is the Bengals. Bengals always could use some defense. I see you'll get probably the best safety in the draft in Cameron Kitchens, solidify that back end and move on. Bucks at number 19. Look, do I think Baker Mayfield is the future? No. Look, am I being honest? Do I think Michael Penix is going to drop this far? No. In no world do I think Michael Penix is getting out of the top 10. However, this is my mock draft. This is what I would do if I was a team. I'd go get Michael Penix. Look, do I think the Raiders could get him at number 12? Yeah, I could see that. However, up until this point, I don't know. That's just kind of my logic. So, anyway, might take some flack on that one. Falcons could use a quarterback. They could use a lot of things. Their defense is pretty good. I don't think there's a quarterback worthy of a first. Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to talk themselves into it. If I was them, I'd probably just go get a good cornerback and be done with it. They already have a pretty good defense. Why not keep solidifying it? You have good offensive weapons. So I would probably just go get a quarterback in the late second round. That's probably what I would do. Next is Buffalo. This is the only team I keep saying needs to draft a running back. Jonathan Brooks they have as number 1. Interesting. These are the updated rankings, by the way, so I'm just kind of watching them. Look, personally, I think the best running back in this draft is Braylon Allen. He's a 3-down back. He's not really a good pass catcher, but he is a workhorse, which is exactly what Buffalo needs, especially in that weather. Go get Braylon Allen. Cowboys, man. Cowboys need a lot of things. D-line is always good, so I say a Jared Verse and just move on. Steelers always need O-line help. Their O-line's pretty bad. Go get one of the better alignments in the draft and keep it moving. Houston, this is where it gets interesting. If I'm Houston, I would give C.J. Stroud every weapon he needs. If Emeka Egbuka is available for us in the top whatever, he hasn't had the greatest year this year, so he's kind of slid. Kind of like JSN last year. He was a projected top 10 pick, kind of got hurt a lot, didn't really play, and so he slid. He's a stud. I think same is going to happen with Egbuka. That's what I would do. Pair him up with his old college teammate. Next is the Seahawks. Seahawks are going to go defense. That's what I see them doing. That's what I would do if I was a Seahawks. Go get the best defensive player available and keep it rolling. Lions are actually a pretty good team. I would yeah, I'd probably get a cornerback. I don't know if Josh Newton is this isn't a very deep draft. I'm going to put it that way. On defense. It's not a very deep defensive draft with just pure studs. Yeah, Nate Wiggins is good. I'd probably just talk myself into a best cornerback available and keep it going. Jags. What would I do if I'm the Jags? I would go get defensive line help because Trayvon Walker really isn't that good, so you need a defensive edge to rush. Ravens do need a running back. They cannot stay healthy to save their lives. Jonathan Brooks is a good running back. Keep it rolling. That way Lamar doesn't have to run as much. You could argue receiver here, but it's a pretty deep receiver draft. You can get a good one in the second round. Next is the Dolphins. The Dolphins could use some O-line help. There's no really good... Yeah, there's no tight ends worthy of a top whatever pick. Probably just go best O-lineman available. I don't know who that is, but I'd probably just do that and keep it going. Next is the 49ers. They need a quarterback. Man, I know it sounds crazy. They should talk themselves into a quarterback. Sorry, I'm stretching a bit. They should talk themselves into a quarterback. But if I'm the 49ers, you know what? That's what I would do. I don't think Brock Purdy is it. Man, could you imagine J.J. McCarthy in that system? Dude's got a cannon of an arm. Same with Bo Nix. Bo Nix is good. I don't think he's meant for that system, though. Yeah, man, this is a tough one. They have a good team. They do have a good team. You know what? Probably just go... First time I've had trouble with the pick. You know what? It's going to be a hot take. Go get Bo Nix. Just go get the best quarterback available. 49ers they're a great team, but their quarterback limits them. I think Bo Nix is an upgrade over Brock Purdy in a big way. Next is Chiefs. You need a receiver. Bad. I don't care what anybody says. Adonai Mitchell's really good. Xavier Worthy's really good. Probably Xavier Worthy's going to be your best bet. Yeah, Xavier Worthy's probably going to be the best bet. Who else was on the board? I'm just curious. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Eagles. Eagles are next. That's when they say they need a receiver. If I'm the Eagles, I'd probably go... Man, the O-line's getting kind of old. Probably just go defense, though. Could always use secondary help. Josh Newton's pretty decent. Go get Josh Newton and move on. And that's my mock draft. It's changed a lot over the past couple weeks just based on where teams are drafting. I know Michael Penix is probably the only one on this draft board that's like, it sounds pretty crazy to have him going 19. Again, this is what I would do if I was the teams. All of these, I mean, like, if I'm Washington, would I take Penix over Sam Howell? I don't know, right? Like, that's the tough part, right? Same with, like, the, wherever they are. The Raiders, right? So it's stuff like that. But anyway, other than the Michael Penix pick, I feel like it's a pretty good mock draft. But let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you're thinking. And until next time, peace.